Hey, what's up guys, MKBHD here. We're taking a trip down memory lane today, but not just any trip. We're gonna see how far the iPhone camera has really come in the past almost a decade. That's right, we're putting the iPhone 6S and the iPhone 16 Pro Max head-to-head in a camera test. Can the OG hold its own, or will the new king blow it out of the water? Let's find out. Alright, before we jump into the pixel peeping, let's talk about the phones themselves. The iPhone 6S, man, this takes me back. The iconic design, the aluminum back, still feels pretty good in the hand. It's compact, no notch in sight, just that classic iPhone aesthetic. But then we've got the 16 Pro Max. This thing is a beast in every sense of the word. Surgical grade stainless steel, that massive, beautiful display that stretches edge to edge, and of course the camera module, it's definitely making a statement. You can see just how much bigger phones have gotten, and in turn, how much more room Apple has for camera tech. But bigger doesn't always mean better, right? We'll see about that. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the specs. The iPhone 6S rocks a 12-megapixel main camera, which, back in the day, was a pretty big deal. It could even shoot 4K video, which was still kind of a novelty back then. Fast forward to the 16 Pro Max, and we're talking about a whole different ballgame. 48 megapixels on that main lens, a LiDAR scanner, sensor shift stabilization, the list goes on. It's clear that Apple's packed every bit of camera tech they could into this thing, but specs only tell part of the story. The real test is how these phones perform in the real world. First up, daylight photos. This is where you'd expect the 16 Pro Max to really shine, and yeah, it delivers. The photos are just, wow. The level of detail, the dynamic range, the colors just pop off the screen. It's like looking through a window. But you know what? The 6S still holds its own. The photos are definitely softer, the dynamic range isn't as good, but they still have that classic iPhone look, that pleasing color science. For everyday shots, sharing on social media, the 6S still gets the job done. Now low light is where things get interesting. The 6S, well, it struggles. Images are noisy, there's not a lot of detail, and you can see the limitations of that older sensor. The 16 Pro Max? Night and day, literally. It's like someone turned the lights on. Photos are bright, sharp, and the night mode captures a surprising amount of detail. It's actually impressive how far computational photography has come. Video time. The 6S could shoot 4K video, which was groundbreaking back in the day. And you know what? It still holds up. Sure, it's not as sharp or as smooth as what you get from the 16 Pro Max, but it's perfectly usable. But the 16 Pro Max, man, this thing is a beast. 4K at 60 frames per second, cinematic mode, Dolby Vision HDR. It's basically a professional filmmaking tool in your pocket. The stabilization is insane, the footage is buttery smooth, and the dynamic range is incredible. Honestly, if you're serious about shooting video on your phone, the 16 Pro Max is the clear winner. So, after putting these two phones through their paces, it's clear that the iPhone's camera has come a long, long way. The 16 Pro Max is in a different league altogether, with its advanced technology, stunning image quality, and pro-level video capabilities. But you know what surprised me? The 6S still holds its own. It's a testament to how good that phone was for its time. Sure, it can't compete with the latest and greatest, but for everyday photos and videos, it's still a capable device. So, which one do you think takes the better photos and videos? Let me know in the comments below. It's wild to see how far we've come. But even wilder to see that the old stuff isn't necessarily bad. Just different. This really puts into perspective how fast technology moves, and it makes you wonder what our phones will be capable of in another decade. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.